Hello, beautiful listeners. I am coming to you live from Australia. I have officially moved my body here. I am staring out at the Australian sunset at this current moment in time, and I have many, many things to discuss with you. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to Life According to Nikki. Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. Look, I know you all expect me to be talking about the fact that I moved to Australia and what that's been like. And yes, we're going to get to that. But honestly, the reason I created this podcast is for moments like this, because I need to talk about Night Agent Season 2. I watched every single episode last night, and it needs to be discussed because it was freaking chef's kiss. It was so good, you guys. Now, here's a fun little fact. I watched season 1 of Night Agent when I was living in Switzerland. I know. I binged the frickin' crap out of that, and I watched it in a single night. And I stayed up probably until like 3 in the morning, if I remember correctly. And then it was really fun last night while I was watching season 2 to just think, I'm watching season 2 in Australia because I live here now. Anyways, it was just like a full circle moment, and I loved it, and I can't wait to see where I'm going to be living for season 3. I hope it's here, because I hope it comes out quickly, because after the ending of season 2, that freaking cliffhanger, I need another season already. I need it. And I'm so happy that they signed on for multiple seasons, because Night Agent is absolutely worth watching. Let's get into it. Here is the plot of Night Agent. You have this guy who works for the FBI. He works in the White House every single night. He clocks in from like 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. He goes in this little room, and inside the room, it's a desk, a chair, and a phone. And his whole job is to just wait for that phone to ring, which it never does. But the show starts off, and out of nowhere, the phone rings. Now, the only people that can call this phone in the basement of the White House are spies. Spies, agents, whatever you want to call them, but they are called night action agents, okay? Really, the whole premise of the show is just him getting this phone call on this phone and kind of what happens after that. Him trying to help the person on the other side of the phone. There's kidnapping, there's plots against the president, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of action. I mean, it's freaking fantastic. And season 1 was such a beautiful little binge. I mean, it's only, I think, 8 episodes, and they're just quick and easy to watch. They're action-filled, but it's cheesy, but not too cheesy. It's a complex plot, but easy enough to follow. It has just a sprinkle, a dash of romance, and it's the perfect amount. There's some angst, and the guy is very attractive, but he's very conventionally normal looking. Honestly, he looks just like a guy next door, but I kind of like that. I think that that's what makes him even more attractive, is it's this very believable person, and he just also happens to be this spy agent person. Anyways, the show's phenomenal, and I loved season 1. It was just such a good, solid show. Now, we have waited years at this point for season 2. And I have felt every single one of those years that I have been waiting, because you had the writer's strike and all sorts of stuff. So it's been 2 years, but they did already say that they're going to do a season 3. But season 2, to me, was better than season 1. It was so good. It had me on the edge of my seat in almost every single episode. There were just so many different plot points. It was still, again, a more complex plot, but very easy to follow along with, so it made me feel smart. And it was just fun. It was entertaining. It was fantastic. And I'm not really into action type shows. There really wasn't a huge romance element. It is a sprinkle, if that. There was probably more romance in season 1, and there was barely any romance in season 1. So season 2 was just a little bit. And it was great. I'm so pumped for season 3. Oh, I have my suspicions are up. Everybody's a suspect. I think so many people are bad people, and I'm excited to see it all revealed. But yeah, I cannot recommend enough Night Agent. Season 1, I'm going to give a 7.5 for the public. On my scale, it was an 8. It was a great show. Season 2, I'm going to give an 8 on the public, and I'm going to do 8.5 on my own scale. I just really enjoy this show. And maybe the location of just being able to binge it in a new country is something that adds to it for me. I don't know. Who's to say? But all that you guys need to know is go watch Night Agent. It is absolutely one to put on your watch list. It is 10 episodes this second season. Now, I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be 8 episodes. So I got in the game late. I didn't see that the new season had dropped until it was, I don't know, like 5 p.m. or something. So I started it, and oh man, at 1 a.m, I started episode 7, and I didn't realize that it was 10 episodes. So I decided to be a mature adult, and I went to bed at 2 a.m. and then promptly woke up at 10:30 and finished the entire series. So, it was just a solid day for me, and I'm so happy that I can report on it today. Okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest, I recorded that piece like a week ago, and that was all I recorded. I did not record anything about Australia. Now here I am, and I have more shows to talk about, but you know what? Okay, we're gonna split this episode up slightly differently than normal, and I'll give the people what the people want. An update on my Outback adventure. It is true. The rumors, they are not false. I am in Australia. I'm living it up, and honestly, couldn't be happier. Things are going well as not falling into place. Stick with me. So, starting off, as we all know, I'm just going to assume that everyone has listened to my previous episodes about Australia. If not, pause now. Go listen to them, because I don't really feel like summarizing. I'm so sorry. I just feel like there's so many rich details that you really need to understand that I can't get into. Otherwise, this entire episode is just going to be a review on what I've already talked about. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to start where I left off in my other episodes about Australia. Everyone knows that I needed to land a job upon arriving, and I also needed to figure out my financial situation. So here's where we're at with that. I arrived in this country almost 1 month ago to the day. Happy Valentine's, by the way. I'm currently wearing red pants and a shirt with red roses and red earrings. I'm very festive. That was irrelevant. So sorry. Okay, so I arrived here, and I had to deal with so much jet lag, but I really got my crap done in the first few days. I also came the week that there was a ginormous heat wave. So I went from freezing cold Utah winter snow to the biggest heat wave in Australia, middle of summer, the UV index of 11. Yeah, no, my body was wrecked. It took me 39 hours to get here. So to anybody asking if I'm going to go home for the holidays, the answer is probs not. Because I cannot fathom doing that again for at least a year. 39 hours? Absolutely not. No. Now, technically it was supposed to be 28 hours, which still sounds like hell, but because of layovers and storms and all sorts of things, it ended up being 39 hours from Salt Lake City Airport until I was 2 feet on the ground in my apartment in Australia. I'm so lucky and amazed At the generosity of my congregation here in Australia, they've provided me with some dishes and some blankets and some supplies that I needed, and my bishop picked me up from the airport. Oh, it was just as seamless as could be once I did arrive, which was so nice. And I was able to go to the store, get everything. Well, I went to the store multiple times, don't get it twisted. You can't just buy everything you need in one go when you don't have a car. No, and you also don't know where anything is. It's so stressful. Guys, I can't emphasize enough how exhausting it is moving to a new country. Not just a new place, a new country with brands you don't know, stores you've never shopped in, you're not familiar with the items that they might have, you don't know the streets, we're on the left side of the road here. It's just a lot. Now, luckily, they do speak English here, although sometimes debatable because the accent is actually way harder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, hello, I've lived in countries where I did not speak the language and it was not English. But I'm going to be so for real with you. The Australian accent's getting me. Meaning, not in a good way, not in like, oh my gosh, I love the Australian accent. Because we know my stance on that. I prefer a UK accent, which is hilarious because I basically manifested my two best friends here. I've always said that I preferred a UK accent over an Australian accent. And my best friend here named Lucy, she's from Scotland. And then my other really good friend that I made, his name's Parm, and he's from the UK as well, from somewhere in England. I don't know. I know it's not London, but somewhere in England. And their accents just crisp in my ear. But the Australian accent, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling greatly with that one. I still don't find it attractive for anybody that's wondering. We'll see if that changes as the days and years go by. Now moving forward in this saga. So I got here and I had to go to the bank and set up my bank account. I had to go get my student ID, my number, I had to file for my tax number. I was just doing paperwork. I was meeting with the folks. I was doing the things. Now, I went and met with what's called the Student Guild here, and they are not associated with the college, but they work with the college and they advocate for students. And I explained my entire situation that I've been having with them not accepting my loan money. And they were like, yeah, no, that's weird. So they contacted the university on my behalf. And then, unfortunately for me, they got back to me and was like, yeah, no, sorry, like, it is totally crazy and weird, but there's nothing that they can do, and you're going to have to pay out of pocket. They can't accept any sort of funding to cover your accommodation. That boulder has not moved. We have not found the ladder, but we found a few rungs. I was like, I need to land a job here because I need to be making money ASAP. Well, I was very blessed because it was pretty much empty when I arrived. There was very, very few students here because it was the summer break. And technically it still is the summer break right now because my classes don't start till February 24th. And I arrived on January 16th. So I had a big chunk of time. Well, anyways, they were desperate for someone to work in the cafeteria. Everyone in my building is on a meal plan. Now, students like me who have a studio apartment that have my own refrigerator and stove and things like that, that's more reserved for grad students and PhDs. We have a smaller meal plan, so I only get 7 meals a week, and then I have to cook for myself, unless I wanted to pay for more meals, which I did. Because we all know I don't like to cook. So I upgraded to 14 meals for my week. Everybody else who's not in a studio apartment, which is the majority of everyone in this building, they're on a mandatory 3-meal plan, so 21 meals a week. Well, when you go downstairs in order to go in the cafeteria, someone has to type in their room number and make sure that they have paid for their meals that week, paid their rent. And for those that don't have 21 meals, that only have 7 or 14, that they haven't exceeded the number of meals for the week. So basically all I do is I type in 3 little numbers. Everyone comes to my desk, says their room number. I'm able to see if they're good to go, and then I send them on their way to eat food while I sit there starving. Because the one rule of this job that has seriously been killing me is I can't eat while I'm at the desk, which during breakfast and lunch, it's fine because I can eat after, like it's not that big of a deal, but the killer is dinner. Dinner is from 5:30 until 8 p.m., and they expect me to sit there while every single human being in this building goes to get their dinner and is chatting and socializing while I'm stuck in the very front corner alone with no food. And by the time dinner's done, all of the food is gone and it's like wrapped up because it's the end of the day. The cooks want to go home. So I've had to go in and make myself a plate, and then it's put in the warmer for me for the 2.5 hours. But man, I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. But, well, you know what? We'll keep my complaints to a minimum because I did get a job. So that is the one downside, is I can't eat while I'm up there, and I also am away from everybody. But pros are I'm able to learn everybody's name, which has been so great because my devious master scheme is to become the most beloved person in this building, so that way everyone is going to be like, no, Nikki has to stay, when I don't have enough money to pay my rent. And I don't know, I feel like if everyone in the building wants me here, there's going to be some sort of solution that can be figured out. You know what I mean? If I get the people on my side and I feel really a part of this community, then, I don't know, maybe we can figure something out. So my plan is going perfectly, and I'm really enjoying myself. Now, every other student that works this job has been on vacation for the summer break, so I have literally worked from 6:50 in the morning until 8 p.m. every single day. I start off my day waking up at 6 a.m. so I can get down to the kitchen by 6:45. Then I open up at 7. I'm there from 7 to 9:30. Then after that, 2 days a week, I was asked if I wanted an additional job on campus, to which I said, absolutely I do. What would you like from me? And they said, we need someone to water the plants out in the quad area. Now, again, it's so hot here. And I said, sign me up. Let me put on some sunscreen. So I go out, and for an hour, I get sunburned and water the plants. And honestly, it's cute. I've never been a gardener girly, but I can start to see where the plant affinity lies. There's just something about pouring water on these plants and just imagining them and their little plant voices yelling like, yay! They're just so happy and gleeful to be getting watered. Maybe that's so weird, but I've really been enjoying it, except for the fact that I'm drenched in sweat and completely sunburned by the time I'm done. But whatever, I get an hour more of pay, and I get to listen to an audiobook. So, again, I'm winning all the way around, but I'm also not going to sugarcoat anything. I will tell you the positives and the negatives, but just know in every single one of these situations, the positives are outweighing everything 3-1, and I just like to complain. So once I complete my plant watering around 11, then I have a short little break up until 12 o'clock when I go back for lunch, 12 to 2. Then I have a short break until dinner at 5:30. So yeah, my days have been taken up by sitting at a desk and typing in numbers, editing my podcast, working on my social media, because, I committed to myself that I would start posting more on my Life According to Nikki account. And I don't know, social media is so hard for me, okay? And I know that is really going to boggle some minds because I love recording the videos. I find that so delightful. And I love getting out my camera and filming something and then just uploading it. But what I hate is how you have to curate everything now, and you have to post things at certain times, and you have to make the caption, and obviously I'm probably overthinking it. But this one, I just told myself, you know what, just upload it. Just upload it. There's no real theme to my social media except to be an anti-influencer. If there's one thing I feel strongly about, it's that. I want to be like a low-key anti-influencer. That doesn't mean I wouldn't accept brand deals. No, not at all. But just know if I were to accept a brand deal and like promote a product to you guys, I stand behind that product. I am not gonna be standing behind just any old thing. Absolutely not. No. And I also will not be filming like conventional videos. Like, no, I'm gonna give it to you straight up and honest, and yeah. But also, I don't know, for the right amount, maybe I'll sell myself out. Only time will tell, really. We'll see. If someone needs me to film an ad for this podcast and their offer is that they will take over editing, listen, I would take it. I would sell myself out for that. Just know my ethics do have a price tag, and I'm going to do my best to make sure it's a high price tag, but it's marked nonetheless. Okay, what am I doing? I'm getting so off track. Where were we? Australia. My jobs. I work in the cafeteria, I water the plants, and then I am hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully going to be getting a front desk position in my building as well, because one of the receptionists is going on maternity leave, and they need someone to replace her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have 10 years of front desk experience. I was an admin for 4 years, okay? I know how to answer a phone. I know how to direct people. I know how to type in an Excel spreadsheet. Put me at a desk. Also, put me at a desk inside my building, please, because I don't have a vehicle. So it has been amazing that each morning that I do need to go to work at 6:45, I just have to go down the elevator and boom, I'm at work. It really couldn't be more convenient. So God's blessings are everywhere, and I'm seeing them, and I've made such good friends, and I got a calling in my congregation, and I am working with the young women, and I'm pumped about it. Young Women Second Counselor. Guys, I was accepted by teenagers this week, and as we all know, there's no such feeling that feels quite as good as a teenager telling you that your vibes are good. I mean, amazing. I can die tomorrow, happy as a little clam, because some random teenager that I just met said, yeah, your vibes are good. We're super happy you're here. The high I felt for the rest of the night was unmatched. I love teenagers. I do. I love hanging out with them. I love getting the tea. I am still a teenager. Looks-wise, everyone assumes I am. I mean, not a soul here has been able to guess my age correctly. I think the oldest someone has said was 25, which, that's fine. But the majority are 20 to 21. But I love hanging out with the teens, you know, and it's unfortunate that I do have to tell them that I'm going to school for public health because I was asked to do that. It's fine. It's not a problem. But, you know, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm in Perth, is so that we can make sex, S-E-X, let's say it together, a little less taboo. And by a little less, I mean a lot less, because heaven help us all. I'm in this career for a reason, and oh my gosh. I get it to an extent. I understand. You don't want me announcing to the teens what I do, but also at the same time, like, I'm not just gonna all of a sudden start talking about sex with your teenagers, okay? Actually, I think they'd really benefit from that, but that's besides the point, because you've probably never taught them, but it just happens to be my career choice. If I said I was going to school to be a gynecologist, I don't think I would get the same reaction as I do when I say that I'm in sexology. Like, everyone just gets so clammy about that. But you know what? It's okay. I'm so happy to be here. I'm with the youth. Over time, I'm sure it'll come out, my actual career and my actual schooling, but I am a public health master's student. Oh, man. Okay, are we good? Have I fulfilled my Australia quota of what I need to talk about? Guys, I really don't have that much to report on because my classes haven't started. My days have been pretty mundane because it's just me working all hours, staying at my accommodation. I really haven't been out that much. I went to one beach one time. I tried to snorkel, but the waves were too rough and I couldn't see anything. So All of my adventures are to come, but as of right now, I'm happy, I'm hot, and I'm still waiting to see how it all comes together. But as always, I have more to discuss with you, and they're not Australia related, but they're on my chest, and so I need to get them off my chest. All right, they've been weighing me down. The notes section of my phone for my podcast has become overwhelming, and we need to start filtering through. I need to delete some sentences from this app. So let's go through the notes section on my phone. All right, we need to circle back to things I've watched. I watched for the first time Love Actually. And what actually was that? Because I actually hated it. You guys, this was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Genuinely, it went on my list of worst movies I've ever seen. I watched it with my new friend Courtney, who, really quick, fun, cute story about meeting Courtney. I have a friend back in the US. Her name is Jamie. She will be visiting me here in Australia, and I will have her on the pod at some point because she's dope. And she visited me in Switzerland. We were stuck on the side of the road together for 8 hours in Scotland. I'm obsessed with her. Love Jamie. Jamie has a lot of Australian friends. Kind of randomly, but also it fits her. She just has like tons of foreign friends. I don't know how to explain it. Well, one of Jamie's Australian friends is friends with me on Instagram, and he reached out to me and said, hey, I have a different friend from Utah that also lives in Perth that you guys should meet up. So I DM Courtney is her name, and we met up for dinner, and she's freaking fabulous. And now we get together every single week. Oh, she's so great. Well, anyways, we got together last week to watch Love Actually because both of us have never seen it before, and we both hated it. Honestly, I wish there was some sort of recording of our reaction to the entire film. I'm so sorry to anybody that loves this movie, but I'm about to just bash on it so hard. Here were my biggest issues with Love Actually. Anybody who genuinely takes a look at this movie, what do you know about these women? These women are one-dimensional characters, and the only thing you know about them is that they're pretty. They're pretty, gorgeous women, and they have men that fall in love with them purely based on their looks. None of these women have any backgrounds to them, have any substance to them, nothing. Absolutely nothing, except this man that loves them. And sorry, but I just cannot get down with these surface level women. No, women are complex and deep, write better characters. Oh my gosh, one of them, she doesn't even speak English. She does not speak English. She's a maid in this house, and he's a writer. She cleans up after him like twice, and he's like in love with her? What, because you saw her in a bikini one time? I was just eye rolling the entire movie, and I was also so confused where we were going with the plot. It goes in 12 different directions and only ties up about 2 of the plots. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has an all-star cast, but I just think that the script was terrible. Let's go through each couple, just real quick, rapid fire, just to prove my point, okay? First up, let's start with Hugh Grant and his secretary. Again, he knows nothing about her, except that she fumbled over her words when they first met, and she brings him biscuits and coffee, and she's beautiful. But somehow they get together after she is almost sexually assaulted in his office by the US president, and then he immediately fires her. So she probably thinks that she got fired because of that incident that was not her fault. And then all of a sudden they end up together. So they, I guess, get their happy ending. Sure, I can be fine with that. Then up next we have Liam Neeson, who is a widower. We get absolutely no background on that, except for the fact that he cries for 0.5 seconds trying to show emotion, and Emma Thompson's character tells him basically, quit being a crybaby. Didn't love that. Men can cry, okay? Men should cry. I actually think the world would be a much better place if men cried more often. You have that moment, and then you have his stepson, which is the only love story I was actually really involved in. His little crush on his classmate and him learning the drums for her. Loved that. Thought that was adorable, and I also love that actor. But at the end, when they're at the concert and the father just happens to have a 2-second interaction with another parent and now they're together, how dumb, how empty. That was just, it was stupid. Next we have Colin Firth, who is the one that fell for the woman that doesn't even speak English. And he had such puppy dog energy in the beginning towards his wife, saying, I love you, and it was so cute. His wife ends up cheating on him with his brother, brutal, by the way. And I think we're forgetting the timeline here. This was 3 weeks prior. Then he goes off to go write his novel, and that's when he meets this other girl from, I think she was from Spain? Oh gosh, was it Brazil? I think it was Brazil, because I think she spoke Portuguese. Anyways, he meets her, and then 3 weeks later, at the end of the movie, he proposes to her because he loves her, even though they don't speak the same language. Oh my gosh. All right. You have the secretary, who her and Carl, I was rooting for so hardcore, but that one had no ending. They just almost got together, and she had to leave to go take care of her special needs brother. She didn't explain that to Carl, nothing. She just left him hanging so hot with his glasses and shirt off in her room when she's been in love with him for 2 years. How is this your guys' favorite movie? I genuinely don't understand. Don't even get me started about the Keira Knightley thing. Why is it that I have seen my entire life that scene where he's standing at the door and it says, "Tell him there's carolers"? Bro, this is your best friend's wife. Your best friend's wife. What are you doing? And what is she doing? Indulging this? No. Oh my goodness. The infidelity in this show. Alan Rickman, he full on cheats on Emma Thompson with his secretary. Again, with the secretaries. The wife finds out, and he leaves for a month, and then he comes back, and everything's fine. She literally, the line that she says is, "I'm fine." And that's it. That's all we get from them. This is supposed to be a love story? And then the last one, which isn't even on the cover, now that I'm looking at it. It's not even on here, but it's the guy from The Hobbit. Him and this other lady are starring in a porno, and they somehow fall in love in their one interaction filming this porno. What was this movie? No, absolutely not. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. You will not catch me watching it again. It didn't even feel like a Christmas movie. It just felt dumb and stupid, and I genuinely don't know why people like it. I think it's the nostalgia. I think the standards were lower, and you all were blinded by the all-star cast. But if we really take a look at it, it's not that great of a movie. I don't think it teaches very good things. There's really not that many couples to root for, and none of the women have any personalities. And I don't think we should be endorsing movies where women have no personalities and are just ornaments and objects for men. Forgive me if I want a little bit more coming from the women, okay? All right, moving right along to more that I have in my notes section. This next one says, "The absolute chokehold I am in with that white dude Froodle dancing in his kitchen is actually crazy." I stop to watch it every single time. Every time. Like Pavlov's dog salivating to a freaking bell. You'll find me stopping my scroll and watching it no less than 3 times. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I don't quite know how to describe it, except for there is this skinny white dude. He dances in his kitchen with way too many cabinets. It's very clean. It's very nice. And he's so subtle, yet he can move so well. It's just this cute little dance that he does, and he does it to, I think it's an Addison Rae song. It's the same song every time. I've tried to watch his other ones where he does other songs. I don't want to see it. No, I just want that one Addison Rae song. I want the same choreography every time, different outfits. And he delivers it. And I love watching those videos. It's just him. I could perfectly tell you what he does in those videos. His little, when he turns around and just like boop, boop, boop. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I love it. I love everything about it. Him shaven, him with a beard, him with glasses. I'm obsessed with this man. His account is called Froodle, Froodle. And yeah, I will be stopping and watching his videos every single time, without fail. It has single-handedly given me serotonin in the last week and a half, and I never want him to stop, truly. I don't know when my fix will be complete, but as of right now, we are at the very beginning stages of addiction, okay? I think it's going to be a while before I am fulfilled. So I hope, for my sake, that he continues making these videos. Next up, I have the statement, I love a conspiracy theory, because I really do. I don't have any that I currently stand behind or that I truly believe, but I do find them extremely fun to hear about. And the latest one that has me is the one about Beyonce and celebrities needing to say her name at the Grammys. Because, of course, I saw all the drama online about Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year or whatever, and all these celebrities just saying how amazing Beyonce is and all this stuff. I don't listen to Beyonce, so I can't fully understand where the hype is coming from. I'm sure that there probably is parts of this world where Beyonce is listened to very frequently and everybody listens to her, but I don't live in that part of the world, okay? I know Halo by Beyonce. I know her big hits, sure, but her country album, I only know the one singular song, the Texas Hold'em, and nothing else. Whereas all of the other artists that were up for that award, I know way more of their albums. Teddy Swims, I absolutely heard more of his album than I heard of Beyonce's. But maybe that's me, maybe that's my demographic, I don't know. But online, it seemed to be questionable of why she won when all these other artists got way more streams than her. I just need someone to break down for me how these awards are allocated. I want to know how an Oscar is won, how they choose the winner, because tell me why freaking Amelia Perez got so many more awards than Wicked. I mean, I have not fully seen the movie because I couldn't be bothered. I have seen bits and pieces that I've looked up, and I tried watching it. I tried. And I had to give up within like 5 minutes because I hated it. So a lot of times I do really enjoy an Oscar nominee or winner movie, but then there are times where it's just a complete miss. And I'm like, how did they get this award? How were they even nominated? I would love to know the process. Can someone actually make a movie about that? Is there a movie already out? I would love to watch just the inner workings of what is the Academy? How do they decide the Grammys? Can we get let behind the stage there? Yeah, get a camera back there, because I will watch that 100%. Put that on the list with the Ellen DeGeneres documentary that I still want, the celebrity siblings and their bitterness towards their siblings taking away the spotlight from them. Yeah, add it to that list. I would love to know the corruption of the Grammys and the Oscars. That sounds absolutely delightful. Because I'm sure if we're talking conspiracy theories, there's gotta be so many up in the back rooms of the Grammys and the Oscars. And also, I would love a shorter one about the Golden Globes, because what the hell are those? I don't even know. And you think I would because I'm obsessed with film and stuff. What are we doing with Golden Globes? What's the prestige there? Someone break this down for me, please, and thank you. Next note reads, there is a statute of limitation on spoiling a movie or TV show. If it has been more than 5 years, automatically it's on you. If you don't know that information, it's not an obligation on my part to warn you that I'm about to spoil something. Like, you should know the information I'm about to spill, because, babe, it's been out for so long. So I'm so sorry if me telling you about the ending of Endgame and Tony dying is news to you, but you're behind. It's actually, that's on you. That's not on me for revealing that information right now. Sorry about it, but I do think that there is a statute of limitations, and I think I'm generous giving you 5 years. I think in some cases 3 is appropriate, maybe even 1, but even with my generosity, it does have limits, and I'll give you 5 years of when you can actually get upset about something being spoiled. Guys, what happened to 5 Seconds of Summer and the Vamps? I loved the Vamps in high school, maybe even middle school. 5 Seconds of Summer, those were the song of my teenage years. The song, hold on, let me look up this list right now. 5SOS. Are they even still around? The last album they had was in 2020. I was going to say 2018. But their 2014 album, She Looks So Perfect. Oh, Good Girls. Oh, that song slaps. Amnesia. Voodoo Doll. Yeah, that album was incredible. And then you have the Vamps. Are they still around? Let's see. Their last album was an EP. Okay, so they had their 2014 album as well. Can We Dance? Somebody to You with Demi Lovato. Girls on TV. That one's fantastic. Oh, they had a Christmas edition? Oh my gosh, I missed that. They need new publicity. Oh, they were so cute too. The time of the boy bands. Do you guys remember Beyond 5? Or was that only a Utah thing? Haha, I met Beyond 5. I did. Twice, actually. They were fun, too. I was a big fan of Beyond 5. You know, One Direction, we're not even going to talk about them, because I was a One Direction fan, but I was honestly more of a 5 Seconds of Summer and Vamps fan than I was with 1D. 1D was Maddie and my friend Carolyn's thing. It was not mine. I mean, I liked their songs, but I was jamming to the Vamps. That's where I was in my car, drumming away and air guitaring it up to Good Girls, which the lyrics go, good girls are bad girls that haven't been caught. You already know, those lyrics really hit home for me. Me not doing anything rebellious at all, but I was like, yes, I am a good girl, but I'm just a bad girl that hasn't been caught. You know, I love those lyrics. To this day, I still love them. Because there is just a part of me that is so rebellious. I haven't really acted on it because I have no desire to. But the fact that I know it's there, just dormant, kind of brings me peace that I'm like, you know what, I could be a baddie if I wanted to. I'm a baddie in other ways, in really good girl ways. I go to church on Sunday and I pole dance. So, you know, I get it out there. But I do love the lyrics of Good Girls by 5 Seconds of Summer. My cousin and I were talking a few weeks ago. We were discussing how we decided years ago that we weren't going to fold our garments anymore, which is our religious clothing that we wear every single day. And her statement about deciding not to fold her garments anymore and just put them in a drawer, this is what she said. The day I gave up was the day I grew wings. And I want that as a slogan on a t-shirt. The day I gave up is the day I grew wings. Because that can apply to so many areas of my life, but it absolutely applies to me deciding not to fold my underwear anymore. Like, no, I just got the things from Walmart, those dresser drawer things. Yeah, I just put them all in there. We've got my pants, we've got my shirts. I am not folding them. I'm not going to roll them up. They're not going to be organized. No, we're going to wash them and we're going to stick them in there, crinkled and unfolded, because nobody's seeing them anyways. So why am I going to go out of my way to do extra work for no reason? I'm absolutely going to die on that hill that we shouldn't be folding our laundry. No, hang it up or stuff it in a drawer. I don't think we should be ironing things. I do a poor man's iron. I just spray it with some water and shake it out. That's all you really need. I think we're overcomplicating the laundry situation. Or maybe I just hate laundry so much that I refuse to do anything beyond the absolute necessities of washing and wearing. But you know what? Not stressing about it has made me so much happier in life. And just know one day when I have children, yet their clothes aren't going to be folded up cute in a drawer either. No, what we're going to do is we're going to have them categorized and color coordinated, of course. Like, this is the pink shirts, and these are the pink pants, and these are the blue pants, and whatever. But they're just going to be stuffed in a drawer. I'm not folding a freaking 9-month-old clothes. Absolutely not. You won't catch me dead folding my children's clothing. No, they're going to get spit up on anyways. You're going to have to change their outfit 3 times a day. No, I'm not folding their clothes. That's just not on the list of things that I'm ever going to do. So I just thought I'd let y'all know. Okay, 2 last things that I need to touch on, but I have literally 3 minutes before I need to leave. Actually, you know what? I need to go right now. So the last thing I'm going to say is, if I was asked to recite the alphabet backwards right now, completely sober, I couldn't do it. So I don't know if that's a good test for sobriety. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to end today, because I do have to leave immediately to go downstairs to get to work. So thank you all for joining me. I love you all so much. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki. Okay, look, I know that was so chaotic, but you all know that's what you're here for anyways.